Hi and welcome to another holiday haul where I'll show you what I got at Disney Springs and something else from Pop Century that I forgot to show you in the last video. So just to catch you up, we went to Disney Springs on the evening of our travel day. So we just arrived in Orlando that afternoon. We went to Pop Century to check in and pretty much turn around and go back out again. I picked up the resort mug and magic band at Pop Century, and then we got the bus to Disney Springs, where we only lasted an hour or two because we were quite jet lagged. The tiredness is kicking in.
Yeah, I have to admit, I think I've reached my limit today.
But it was our only opportunity to go there because the rest of the time here we're going to be in the parks. So if you've not watched that vlog already, make sure you watch it after you finish this video. And if you've not seen any of them, you can go right back to day 0 and start there, where we have a fun evening at the Gatwick Hilton Hotel. So getting back to Disney Springs, I wonder if anyone has actually guessed in the comments. I did think it was quite obvious, but maybe because I knew what I was looking for. But these ears that I'm wearing are the first things I bought. And I did show you the shop I found them in, which was Disney Ever After. And then if you were paying attention, you might have seen they were in my hotel room later that evening. So these are the ears, and they're Figment ears. And if you're not a Disney person or an Epcot person, Figment is like a purple dragon, and he's a character that can be found at Epcot on the Journey into Imagination ride. Which is one of my old favourites, and I remember going on it in the 80s, to give you some idea of how old Figment is and how old I am. And I think I've actually seen these ears before online, and I remember liking them but thinking, they're nice, but I don't really need them, as I've already got a very nice pair of Figment ears. So I hadn't planned on getting them, but then when I saw them in the shop, they were just so sparkly and they just looked really nice the way they caught the light. If I turn them around, you can see on the back better. They're very glittery, and the reason they're different to my other glittery ears is the other ones have got like a textured glitter. So I'm thinking of other Disney parks ears that I've got, and the ones that are glittery have quite a rough surface to them where you could sort of pick the glitter off, where these are lovely and smooth. And I don't know what they're like coated in, but there's something sort of protecting the glitter so you don't have to worry about it falling off. So that's on the backs and on the front, and also the band has got that nice glittery finish. And then the two little what's the horns? What's the wings? That's the horns on the ears, and I guess that's his wings. Or does he have... Oh, it sounds silly now. Do dragons have antlers? They're two bits on top of his head. They may be his wings, or... I'm not sure now I've said that. Should have just kept my mouth shut. Let me know in the comments whether you think this is wings in the middle or little like antennae, or whether I'm just an idiot. Lovely ears, Missy. Lovely ears. So, moving on. I was quite restrained at Disney Springs. Before we went on the holiday, I think maybe I scared myself with how much I'd bought in advance of the trip. Because if you've watched our planning videos, you'll know that me and Sarah had planned meticulously every day what we were going to wear and what ears we were going to match with and all that kind of thing. So I'd already done a lot of shopping in the build-up to the holiday. So I went with the mindset that I don't want to buy stuff just for the sake of it. So anything I buy has to be something I need or something that's very special. So with that being said, I went around the whole world of Disney and didn't buy anything. And although there was lots of nice things in there, particularly a few Spirit jerseys that I liked, I was kind of thinking to myself, I don't need them. And Spirit jerseys don't really look that nice on me anyway. So I kind of told myself, no, I don't need any Spirit jerseys. And a lot of the stuff I sort of glanced at quickly, but didn't stop too long to look at it. So I didn't spend any money in there at all. And I thought I'd done pretty well in just getting the ears. And then it came time to leave, and we had to go past the coat shop again. And if you don't know already, I do quite like Disney Coach handbags. And a few years ago, I did start a little collection of them, but they're quite expensive, so I kind of had to stop collecting. But as we were walking past the shop, I thought, I'll just have a quick look to see what they've got in, because I've not really been following any new releases from them, because I haven't been able to buy any for a while. So I've been just steering clear of them. But I thought, while we're here, I'll just have a quick look. So I went in there, not planning to buy anything, but I did. Hang on, it's Alexa.
This is a reminder. Clean Missy's teeth.
Alexa, stop. Missy, you've got away with that tonight. I'm just going to show you Missy next to me. She made a big fuss about coming and sitting with me, so I've put her tall bed next to me, and she didn't even sit up to be in the pictures. I set her up so carefully next to me. Come on then, this is your moment. You're looking the wrong way. And yes, I've got the black screen there so you can't see the rubbish behind me. Would have worked if I hadn't given you that little glimmer. That's ruined my story now. So in the Coach store, I got this lovely little bag. And I have some bags that are slightly similar to this, which I think is the Rogue style, which is quite a square sort of boxy style. But this is like a mini. So I was just trying to look at the label to see if it actually is called that. But I think it's a mini Rogue. It doesn't actually say on here. But the reason I was able to get this one is because unlike the other ones that I've got, it's not a leather one. It's actually made of canvas, which meant that it was quite a bit more affordable than the rest of their stuff. So even though it was still quite pricey, it did bring it within my range. And I'd said to myself before the trip, like maybe I was looking for one or two nice bags. So I thought, better get this one, because I was worried if I didn't get it then I probably wouldn't see it again in the parks. Because, yeah, I didn't know whether it would be there or whether it would only be in the Coach store. So just give you a little close up there. On the front it says Coach, and it's done in like an embroidered thread on the front, and then the Mickeys are also embroidered, and on the back it's just got lots of little Mickeys, and I just really liked the size of this one. So it's a bit different from my others because it's smaller, but it did remind me a little bit of that Orange Bird Junie and Burke bag that I got a while back. Just a similar size, which is quite cute. So on the front there's like a little twist clasp, and then that just secures this little pocket at the front. Then there's a large pocket in the middle which has a zip across, and it's also got a shoulder strap in there that I've not opened yet. On the back is another slip pocket, and that one's just held by like a popper. And I've not taken off the labels or anything yet, but that was my splurge at Disney Springs. Just when I was congratulating myself for saving my money, that was most of my budget gone for the rest of the trip. And then the final thing I've got to show you was actually another thing from Pop Century. And I didn't actually get this on the travel day. I got it a couple of days afterwards. But I thought I'd show you now, as I've just done the Pop Century tour with you in the last vlog. So it seems relevant to show now. And that is the Mickey telephone ornament. So this is a little miniature version of the classic Mickey Mouse telephone, which I thought was from the 80s, but when I was walking around Pop Century, I'm sure he was in the 70s part, but I nearly forgot to go find him, because when I did that tour that you saw, I just walked around the outside, and he's actually more in the middle of one of the blocks. And I think it was the last night that we were there, and I remembered I've not actually seen him yet. So I went off to find him, but I didn't have my camera, or my battery had run out or something, because all I had was a couple of pictures on my phone that I took. So I'm glad I got at least those. And then I wanted this to remind me, as this is my favourite icon from the decades, and it reminds me of my childhood. And we used to get the Argos catalogue at Christmas time, and I'm sure I circled this every year, and I never got that phone. But looking back now, we only had one family phone, so I can't really blame Mum and Dad for not wanting this one. Did you ever get the Mickey Mouse phone? And are you old enough to remember the Argos catalogue? So this has got a little hook on it. I don't know if it's supposed to be a Christmas tree ornament. If it is, I find it way too heavy for that. You can actually remove the hook part. There's a little clasp on it. So I think I'll just have him sat on a shelf somewhere. And a little tip, if you're going to Pop Century and you would like a good look at Mickey or any of the other icons, I found the best way to do it was to actually go in the block that was opposite and go up the stairs. Because first of all, I was just on the ground trying to take photos of Mickey. And because he's like 3 or 4 floors tall, the angle you get from the ground is not particularly good. So if you go up the stairwell or the lift of the building opposite, you can look straight out on him and get a great view. That's my top tip. So that's my haul from Disney Springs and Pop Century. And if you're interested, which I wasn't because I forgot about it, Sarah bought a couple of things too.
And I got some ears.
Oh right, Sarah, I was saving those as a surprise.
Oh, they're not a surprise anymore.
I just remembered while I'm trying to edit this, she got the pink ears that she actually showed you in the vlog, so that's not a big surprise. But she also got the pink sweatshirt, which is one of the first things I saw in Disney Ever After. And it was funny because I went in there while she was outside, and I was like looking around, and then all of a sudden she was in there and at the till. And that seems to be Sarah's style of shopping. Like when I get something, I'll like pick it up and walk around with it for a bit and check the whole shop to make sure there's nothing else. Whereas if Sarah sees something, she just picks it up and goes straight to the till. And it's like, this is what I want, this is what I'm getting. And I think a lot of the time she did it to get there before me. So if we both like the same thing, she could be like, I got it first. But on this occasion, we chose different things. And that's what Sarah got. The next vlog will show our day at Animal Kingdom, so make sure you're subscribed and give this video a like and all that stuff, and see you next time.